Hey, everybody. So, releasing your first book is a humbling, terrifying, amazing like, mix of emotions experience. And I've been avoiding making this video all day. My heart's pounding. Uh, and it's crazy. I'm like, what happens if it succeeds? What happens if it fails? Will they like it? Will they not like it? So, with all of that coursing through me, I am so happy you're watching this video. And I can't wait to tell you about Dance Adventures, a dance travel anthology. And in this video, I'll share a little bit about why I started the project, what the project's been like, and I'll even read an excerpt from my intro. Now, we'll have a whole launch party eventually, but for now, I'll just give you a little taste of that. And then at the launch party, I'll have authors come in and read excerpts. That's what I'm thinking so far. So, Dance Adventure started because many of the most pivotal, life-changing moments in my life have come when I was dancing abroad. They've come on nights when I've gone out, having no idea how I would get home from a dance, in the French countryside, made friends that night and come back and learned, like, God, you can form community instantly. Or it's happened in Guinea, West Africa, which I'll share one of the ways that it impacted me a little bit later on. It's happened when I was so humbled after studying Aboriginal dance in Australia and getting to spend time with these Aboriginal dancers and learning more about the challenges that they face, the way that dance has not just celebrates their traditions, but also is modified in contemporary moments to teach people about current things. Like they have a whole basketball dance, which is amazing. And it's just time after time after time, life-changing, challenging me to get outside my comfort zone, challenging me to go to new places, being the inspiration for me to go travel by myself through, different countries. And it's all thanks to dance. I do think dance is an access point to culture, and that when we immerse ourselves in a culture that's very different than our own, we start to question our beliefs around family, money, spirituality, everything, because we can glimpse that another culture has a completely different way of relating to those things, and that there's things that we can learn. And for me, dance has been a way to make sure that I am fully immersed in another culture and that I get the chance to discover some of the things I have to learn. I won't claim that I've totally gotten to know every piece of the culture, because we all know that would be, I'm still learning about American culture, let alone the cultures I visited, right? But, without dance, I feel I would have had a much more superficial experience. So in this book, in this Dance Adventures book, people are writing about how dance has catalyzed amazing experiences for them across the world. We have stories from China, from India, from Argentina. We have stories from Angola, Mozambique, Senegal. We have stories from Hungary. They've come in from all over, and I've divided them into 3 primary categories. One is personal development, so how dance challenged you to become a better version of yourself, challenged you to heal, etc. The other one is building community, so how dance became the access point to building community in another culture. And the third one, what's the third one? Oh, it's unexpected adventures. So ways that dancing led to an unexpected adventure that you never would have had otherwise, but has been amazing for you. It's going to be badass. We've got 12, maybe 13 different authors. I'm still waiting on that last story to know whether it's going to happen. And these authors most of them have never written a short story before. They're first-time authors, and I've worked with them to build their stories, to build their storylines, to learn more about storytelling. And it's been so fun and so much learning and so much collaboration, a really fulfilling project for me. And it's been an awesome project for them too, as they've learned more about how to write in this particular style of a short story. Really proud of all of them. So thank you if you're an author and you're watching. So with that, I guess I'll read you all an excerpt from my intro to the book. And this is a story that is very near to my heart. And sometimes when I tell it, I cry. So we'll see if that happens. But it truly this experience I'm about to share with you really was the final moment where I decided that I needed to start living the life that I felt I was meant to live. And that is a huge gift. If any of you have ever had that pivotal moment where you get some sense knocked into you, or you like get that aha moment, it is, you never forget it. It's invaluable. And my trip to Guinea, West Africa was one of those for me. I'll say before I read that one of my goals for this book is to go and speak at different universities about the value of dance travel, help consult with them on how to make dance travel awesome. I'm applying for a Fulbright around studying dance travel and how to make it a really amazing experience that both honors local culture and has an impact on the people that are traveling. I want to just share this with people who love social dancing and who are already know the power of dance travel, but are excited to hear about other people's experiences. I really want this book to be part of my legacy. I anticipate doing more books like this. And I just think it has the potential to do a lot of good in the world, especially right now during COVID, when it's nice to get some inspiration and it's nice to read about travel when we're staying at home. It's nice to immerse ourselves in stories about community and feel that sense of community through other people's words. So I feel like even though it's kind of a weird time to launch this campaign, I also feel like it's a perfect time to launch the campaign. And thank you again for being willing to watch this and for being willing to donate, because I really believe that this work is that these stories are going to inspire a lot of people, both just while they're sitting at home, also to travel, also to dance. And I do hope to be working with a lot more people on writing their stories, because our authors have said that writing these stories has helped them clarify their ideas, realize more about how much the experience meant to them. It's helped them get published, which for some of them is a great thing to put on their resumes. So there's a lot of different benefits to writing a dance story for this anthology, both things that I've experienced personally, which have been delightful, and things for the authors. Okay, now I'm really going to read the story. All right. The story is called Courage, or Courage if you are a French speaker, and it is by me. The concrete building felt like a sweat lodge. Dust-speckled sunshine filtered in through several small paneless windows, creating diluted spotlights on the floor. A gaggle of wide-eyed children gathered around a large, jagged hole in the cinder block wall, the doorway to the dim, austere space. The boys and girls giggled as they arranged themselves in the best viewing position, with the taller boys in back. My fellow travelers and I sat against the wall of the Maison de Jeunesse Youth Center, one of many similar structures sprinkled throughout the neighborhoods in Guinea's capital, Conakry. These buildings serve as community hubs, and their most common use is as a practice space. Ghanaians value the arts so deeply that the buildings are often booked morning to night with various performance groups. It was a typical January day. The air was warm and humid, with the sound of drumming on the breeze. Somewhere in the distance, musicians were playing rhythms loved by Ghanaians for hundreds of years. This commitment to music and dance was the reason I'd come to this West African country, as well as the reason I sat patiently on the dusty floor that day. With the loud crack of a djembe, the dance rehearsal began. The lead drummer pounded out a rhythm, and a chorus of djembes, dunduns, and balafons answered. These West African instruments filled the room with a deafening rhythm. I covered my ears, and the music remained loud and clear. A dark mass swayed at the back of the room as 40 dancers hidden in the shadows shifted into position. The first dancers emerged, forming a line that moved like a wave across the space. Because of the heat, drops of sweat were already running down their faces. The rhythm was fast, extremely fast, but the dancers were not daunted. They seemed to become more and more invigorated, throwing themselves into each step with a full-bodied commitment. As they stretched dynamically into each movement, I saw the flash of bright white smiles. Shouts from the men and high-pitched shrieks of ecstasy from the women echoed through the room. My eyes welled up with tears. Never before had I beheld such presence and power in movement, nor this level of devotion to artistry. Just hours before, I'd learned from a friend that these professional artists were not paid. Several of them worked night jobs at the airport to support themselves. After their shift finished, they would walk 8 miles to their practice space. They sometimes only had enough money for one meal each day, and I couldn't imagine how many calories they burned during these all-out rehearsals. I'll pause there. the moral of the story, as you'll find, is just how humbled I was to see their commitment to the art and to their commitment to following their calling and their commitment to being who they knew they were meant to be and doing what they love. And I share a lot more about special moments like that and some of the groups I saw that really had me question, like, who am I to not do what I'm meant to do? Like, it was just a mind-blowing, wonderful experience. And all of the stories in this book are inspiring, mind-blowing, wonderful, and I can't wait for you to read them. I'd be so honored if you would support me in this project. And yeah, thank you for watching.